All right. Hey, everyone. Let's go through the chart review of April the 14th and check whether there are any new setups that might deserve attention, any alerts that have been triggered, and we might need to reschedule and pretty much track for any general tendencies that deserve some additional attention. We had a pretty solid day yesterday. Pretty much all of the names that showed somewhat of a relative trend the past few days or were near a breakout range just went crazy. So I'm not expecting to see too many new setups rather than just continuation of what was already evident on the charts. This one continues to set up. Might become very interesting very quickly. Rising high, sliding through the moving averages, keeps making tighter ranges. Yeah, maybe on the weekly deserves a few more days of attention, and then it has the potential to push much higher. Yeah, this one we looked at it stream yesterday, right? Went into the detail about it. Very strong looking setup, trying to set up a new base. If it keeps, the longer it keeps these levels here above the previous range, the more the chances of it running increase. That's a name that I did not enter yesterday. I had my watch list, but for some reason I did not trust the very first move. Maybe the fact that it shook out early decreased my belief in the general setup, but it actually looks quite well. All right, that's interesting. Yeah, this one broke out, right? Similar setup where you have a new base close to a previous range. Potential runner here as well. Definitely want to be involved in this name. Yeah, this one looks still strong. However, volume needs to pick up. Too much on the low side for now. If it manages to clear with some solid volume, maybe it could draw in some attention. Until then, keeping a close eye, but nothing else. Bullish. That's the name of the game. Right, nothing interesting really. All of these setups look either trying to digest new levels or have already extended quite a lot from the lows. Closed this one yesterday. I booked a partial gain. I think I booked a quarter of the position in here and then closed yesterday when it broke these lows. I was like, hey, I can keep the morning low. I still have room. But then it broke out later in the day. So I was like, maybe if it bases again, I'm going to revisit. Amazing move. And this stock is quite, it has tendencies, right? It did that last time as well. Crazy what these moves can sometimes deliver. Absolutely nothing. Oh, in all honesty, basically the reality has been that we have had a couple of, though VIX hasn't really been exploding much, but the moves have been somewhat radical for some of the stocks. Most of the relative strength names showed impressive gains over the past few days, so I can see why they would get exhausted for a few days. And then the rest of the laggards haven't really moved. This one could be setting up a new move if it manages to catch up a bit on the moving averages. Then it might be poised for to explode. So looking good. Picking up on volume as well. So let's see. It's not establishing well. But there is something strange with this stock. It's all these gaps on low volume just make me wish to be out of position. But a flag is a flag, a setup is a setup. You can't really skip those. Let's see how it behaves. Yeah, Lunar. Hopefully this one rips. I want to decrease some exposure to it. I went in relatively high invested in here, so would be happy to decrease. Let's see how it digests these few days. Yeah, this is one of the names that just showed incredible relative strength, right? 100% in almost a bit more than a week. After the EP that it had, should have re-entered in here. I had it on my watch list. I had it on my scans. For some reason, I did not trust the stock too much, and I should have. I did not trust it because when the market was actually recovering quite well, um, stock did not really react in the beginning. I was kind of hoping that it would immediately move to the upside. It actually lagged a bit, and then just ripped. Want to put up in the setup library, and then I'll revisit later on when I do my analysis. Try to get any key takeaways. You could argue this looks somewhat the same, right? Trying to set up a base lower, maybe a potential move from here. But given that the market already extended quite a lot, definitely a laggard. Yeah, that's a name that I'm hoping will trip sooner as well. I re-entered this one, but shaken out previously. It's nothing like Bloom Energy, right? This one shows much more relative strength. But Plug has essentially been neglected for some time, right? Almost 6 months. So now that it gets some attention, maybe it runs quite a lot. Yeah, we shall see. Yeah, that's what I have still. Let's see. It's setting up a very strong uptrending base. Normally that would be a good setup for a well-defined upward move, and if not, basically the risk is also well-defined. Anything below this flag, I am happy to exit. Have this one as well. I bought it here on the breakout. I will be closing below the 10-day. Let's see how it behaves. Yeah, that's another position closed above the almost at the range. So let's see how it digests. Yeah, that's another one that broke out. A relatively strong setup. Moving averages are now trending up. So I'm very interested to see whether this one would revisit and then invalidate or prolong the move. It's not on the high ADR side, so it's not a huge mover, but nevertheless, it might show general guidance on the theme and then on the breakout stability. Yeah, not think incredibly fancy stuff. Most likely we'll have a calm day today, tomorrow, unless any strong political news. But charts would mostly probably digest. Okay, that's one that I'll be looking to enter. Well-defined risk at yesterday's low, and it has the room to run. High ADR, good on the liquidity side. All right, let's see what this one can do. Nothing fancy. Cool, cool. Let's do a quick round on the biggest movers for the past few days. Just to get our eyes set to a pattern, right? It's important that basically, I guess one of the most fundamental exercises that anyone can do is just going through the recent winners. So just put a filter 20% up in the last 10 days. You will get some crazy moves as like a one day miracles, etc. But sometimes you would see foundations of historical patterns play out. And this is a very quick way for you to build a library of these setups. The more you have, the more you revisit, the more you would be used to seeing the setup prior its development. So it's very key. Do this every day. Go through the setups, try to identify patterns, try to identify whether most of the breakouts work or they fade. If you do this enough time, you start seeing the setups before they emerge. It's quite key as an exercise. For example, this one there, right? At DP, and then the stock just gradually started sliding through the moving average. Once it broke the range, first move, almost 3 times ADR, retested 20-day, and then pushed for another almost 4 times 8-year move. Yeah, as expected, most of these are some just generic random candles all over the place. Okay, fair enough. Most of the digestive days ahead, probably keep your scans sharp and tight. Thank you.